Hi, I'm Susan Keefe from Rhubarb Cod, and today I'm overthinking Peach Cobbler. What are you doing? Ow. He's trying to climb my leg. Ugh! We're in the thick of stone fruit season, when peaches reign supreme. We're in the thick of stone fruit season, and peaches reign supreme. There are plenty of sweet and savory uses for the peach, but I would venture to say no dish is more iconic than the peach cobbler. And why is that? Well, not only does the cobbler allow the peach's natural flavors to shine through, it's also easy and super quick to cobble together. And that's a very good thing on a hot summer day. But where did this piece of stone fruit heaven come from? Well, the cobbler has its origins in British American colonies. Upon arriving in North America, British settlers found themselves without the means or ingredients to make the suet puddings and pies they were accustomed to. The solution was cobbler, a stewed filling topped with biscuit, scone, or dumpling dough that could be cooked over an open flame. Cobblers used less butter and/or animal fat and didn't require the use of an oven, perfect for the homesteading set. Because the creation of cobblers was so widespread, various corners of North America have their own versions and names for the cobbler. I grew up on the east coast of Canada, so I'm more familiar with the blueberry grunt, a dish which is cooked stovetop using drop dumpling dough as its topping. But across Canada and the United States, a cobbler can go by various names, such as buckles, grumps, slumps, dump cakes, and in North Carolina, a sonker, which is a deep dish version of a cobbler. Specific dishes like apple pan dowdy and apple brown betties are also considered cobblers. Crisps and crumbles are close relatives, but they're not technically a cobbler. But enough about the cobbler's origins. Let's talk about what I consider the most famous cobbler of all time, the peach cobbler. We're going to start by pitting and slicing 6 large yellow-fleshed peaches. You can tell how ripe your peach is based on how easy it is to remove the pit. Most commercial peaches are freestone varieties, which means the pit should be easily removable when ripe. Transfer the peach slices to a bowl, preferably one larger than this one. Add about 1/4 cup to 1/3 of a cup of granulated sugar. How much sugar you add will depend on how sweet your peaches are and how sweet you want your finished cobbler to be. I would suggest erring on the side of less sugar, as summer peaches tend to be quite sweet. If you find that your filling is not sweet enough, you can always add more later on. Give the peaches a toss to ensure they're evenly coated in the sugar. Set the peaches aside to macerate. Maceration is a process of coating fruit with sugar in order to draw the moisture out. As the liquid is drawn out of the fruit, the cells lose volume, which results in a relaxation of the cell walls. In other words, it softens the fruit. You should leave your peaches to macerate at room temperature for a minimum of 1 hour, but you can leave them for up to 3. While your peaches are macerating, preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Grease a deep casserole dish with some butter and set it aside. Once the peaches are done macerating, drain the resulting liquid from the peaches and reserve 1/4 cup. Add the juice of half a lemon, 1/8 of a teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. Whisk to combine and pour the mixture over the peaches and toss to coat. Pour the peaches into the prepared casserole dish and bake for 12 minutes. We're going to give the peaches a little head start while we get the biscuit dough ready. Now, as I mentioned, you can use biscuit, scone, or dumpling dough for this. Some people even use yellow cake batter. But I'm going with a classic buttermilk biscuit. So we're going to start with half a cup of whole milk, and to it we're going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice. Then we're going to set the milk aside to curdle. While the milk is curdling, whisk to combine 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Once the dry ingredients are well combined, add 6 tablespoons of cold unsalted butter cut into cubes. Using the rubbing method, work the butter into the dry ingredients until the mixture resembles breadcrumbs. If you aren't familiar with the rubbing method, it's quite simple. Working with cold hands, roll the butter pieces between your thumbs and index fingers to create small leaves of butter. Be light and quick with your movements so you don't prematurely melt the butter into the flour mixture. That's a job for your oven. Finally, add your homemade buttermilk and stir until a dough starts to come together. Don't overmix it, it should be shaggy. Take the peaches out of the oven and, using a spoon, dot them with the biscuit dough. The dough will expand in the oven, so don't worry if it doesn't seem like you have enough batter to cover. I promise you do. Plus, you should leave a little space between each dollop of biscuit dough to allow the steam to escape. Sprinkle the biscuits with coarse sugar. I used raw sugar. It adds a little crunch. Pop the cobbler into the oven and bake for 20 to 25 minutes or until the biscuits are golden. Let the cobbler sit for 30 minutes prior to serving so that the syrup that's generated from the peaches has time to thicken. The fruit filling should be juicy though, so there's plenty for the biscuit top to soak up. Serve the cobbler warm with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. There is nothing optional about the ice cream. Serve immediately to an inevitable standing ovation. And that's all I could think to overthink about Peach Cobbler. I hope you give this one a shot, and if you do give it a go, let me know how it went in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to this channel. I post a new recipe every week and a ton of goodies along the way. Thank you for baking with me. I'll see you all next time.